Vallenfyre, a band that got its debut album out around 2011. Only a handful of people might have guessed that this very band from UK would have continued its path all along and make more than one or two albums during the following years. But here we have, however, the third album, Fear Those Who Fear Him. So, this is what the digipack looks like. This was already released in the spring, but because the band is now touring, it's time to take a look what this band sounds like on the third album. So before we get into the music, let's get into the release. So as you can see, this is a digipack with three-folding structure, and when we take a look at the back side of the release, we see not only the cover image but also the band image, which has the main man of the band, Gregor Mackintosh, the guitar player and the brain of the band, as well as the other members of the band. And on the back we have track listing, 12 tracks in total. Inside we have CD and very minimal design. And when we open the actual cover, we get the booklet, which is not a glossy cover one, but more like I don't know what the paper quality is called. Anyway, it's really matte in the way that it feels. And inside we have the lyrics all with caps lock, all big capital letters, and more lyrics, as well as another image of the band itself. As you can see, there's an old school feeling to all of this, how it looks and smells. Smells like old ink, in my opinion. So, all in all, really dark atmosphere, with all starting from the very cover image, as well as the other imagery here on the CD and in the digipack unfolding, as well as the background. All very dark, as it is music. So, Vallenfyre is a death metal side project, sort of sidekick of Paradise Lost, which is for obvious reason, because it features the Paradise Lost main guitar player, Gregor Mackintosh. It was said that this kind of was born as a therapeutical side project of sorts, dealing with his father's death. But now it's the third album, and I think it's sort of different mourning process by now. Without knowing all the details he might have gone through in his life and dealing with the death of his old man, I'm not gonna speculate what it is all about and what it is buried in these lyrics of the band and the album. Vallenfyre is old school death metal in the way that it could be very well be kind of a forgotten recordings of Paradise Lost back in the early or mid-90s. It is as if it was like this kind of a half-brother of a gothic album, being more doomy, more even gloomy maybe, but definitely more punkish, more crustish, more grindish. So not as gothic as the gothic album, but then again more kind of a crawling death metal with really old school vibe when it comes to mixing all those various elements, but yet becoming a full-fledged death metal when it comes to the music. So the sound on this album is just kind of a perfect for this kind of music, and it's clear that these musicians, these very well experienced musicians, have understood that as well, because it is not as if these riffs are anything unique or very like imaginative. It is not that the wheel has been kind of a recreated or any of that sort. Vallenfyre is building on very well-known building blocks, but it's done so very clear and good way that the music kind of sounds fresh. At the very same time, it also sounds so old-fashioned even, and kind of like lost tapes. Even though, given with very better sound quality, very much well produced than the many of the CDs and LPs that were released back in the 90s. So it's kind of a retro death metal, but then again, not. It's kind of a mixing of old and new, creating something that kind of honors both of these times, both new and old. And like I said, even though there is nothing new when it comes to the riffs, structures, or anything, those ideas on this CD, it is just this whole concept has been almost perfectly finished. So it doesn't matter if those riffs are not anything new. It is just all the building blocks I mentioned earlier, they're just falling into the right places. And the growling vocals on this album are just fitting for all the atmosphere that this really gloomy album is holding within it. So, all I can say, Fear Those Who Fear Him is one of the best death metal albums that has come out this year, and it has clearly proven that Vallenfyre is something to be, you know, believed in, to a force to reckon with. It's a good death metal band, and by no means I hope that this will be the last one, the final one. It was already we were told about. So let's hope that this band keeps on giving on in the future as well. So those of you who haven't checked it out yet, please do. Fear Those Who Fear Him. Gold standard death metal. Thumbs up, and thank you for watching. And if you happen to live in the Nordic countries, Vallenfyre will be playing now this week in Finland, so get to see them live. And if you missed that chance, check it out later on. Thank you for watching. As always, comments and stuff like that are more than welcome. Subscribe and leave your comments below. See ya!